So how's it going, everybody? And welcome to the return of the most controversial talk in all of YouTube and in all of Facebook Live and in all of social media entertainment. So, I did not want to talk about this subject. Did not want to. Didn't need to do it. But someone decided to piss me off. And it's not good when you get me in this kind of mood, especially when it's in a subject of something I don't want to talk about. So before I go ahead and talk about it, I know some people have been dying to wonder where I've been for the past several months, a year, because this is actually, even though this is the second time I've done a live episode, this is actually the first actual full-length live episode of the Main Event Talk that now I get a chance to do this live as it happens on YouTube. So now I get a chance to pull this off, I get it done, and now everything is coming into play. Everything. So, let me kind of bring you up to speed as to why this is happening right now. So, here I am in the morning, I was just doing what I have to do. I've had a phone for the past couple of days, by the way. And, let's see. Yes. Oh, thank you for coming up, dude. Big shout out to my boy Peter Lopez, who's probably watching this episode live as it happens on the Main Event Talk. This is Peter, this is exclusive. This is big. This is huge. This is anything you can possibly imagine. So, I want you to pay attention, and I want you to see where this is going. So, this morning, the Main Event was at home sleeping. And I decided that, I wanted to try and put together a Main Event Talk, because I got a Main Event Talk on Facebook, by the way. Facebook, have my own Main Event Talk, and I wanted to put it together, and it worked out perfectly the way it is. So, when I did it, I posted something on Instagram, which I did, live. Well, it wasn't live, but it was more like it was in the dark and everything. Like, you know how you have one of those podcasts, and it shows up and everything, and comes out perfectly the way you, like that. But anyways, I go with Instagram first, and I post something there. Then I thought, okay, well, let me do the same thing, but let me go ahead and post my Main Event Talk on my Facebook and put it on my Facebook for everyone to watch, right? So I go ahead and I do this, right? And when I post my Main Event Talk, I don't do it live. I haven't done it live over there on Facebook yet. I'm just doing a video and then put it out. And when I put it out, I know that a couple of people, well, one person in particular, had complained about the fact that I talked about the All-In pay-per-view that took place last weekend. True, I did not see the event, but I did see some of the event that took place over on YouTube and everything, and it was a tremendous event. But there was one spot in the event that I did not want to talk about. One spot that was, you know how you get one of those emails or you get one of those messages on Messenger and everything, and you get something you just don't want to answer onto? Well, I didn't want to respond to this particular thing, but it was shown on the All-In pay-per-view, right? I didn't want to see this part at all. It was just something that I just didn't want to talk about. I didn't want to think about at all. And then it was brought up earlier. This dude fucking, he's one of my biggest supporters, but he's also a guy that complains, and he talks about how I'm not talking about this particular subject and why I'm not Mr. Controversial. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you have to draw the line somewhere. But in this case, this guy drew a line with me. And I didn't appreciate it. I didn't like it. Because, first of all, I didn't say anything about me ordering the pay-per-view and seeing it. I mentioned I was all in, but I didn't say anything about ordering the pay-per-view. If I wanted to order the pay-per-view, I would have had this thing called, cable, which I don't have. So I have this thing called YouTube, and I go ahead and look through it and check out all the matches and everything else like that to see what I like. Now, first of all, the All-In pay-per-view, I saw it. Not the whole event, but just some of the things that took place. And it was great. It was tremendous. But I gotta get this hat on straight because what I'm about to talk about, I don't want to, but I got to because someone decides to piss me off because they wanted me to talk to this particular person that came out in the All In pay-per-view. You want me to talk about it? I said it on Instagram earlier. You wanted me to talk about it. I said this on Twitter earlier. Did you want me to talk about it? I said this probably somewhere on Facebook. Did you want me to talk about it? Do you want me to talk about it? Do you want me to go ahead and let all the stupidity out of my system? Is that what you want from the main event? Okay. Here it goes. Ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am going to talk about... Are you ready for this? We are going to talk about the person's name is mentioned on this main event talk. I am going to talk about the dick spot. Yes, I mentioned it. The dick spot. This was the stupidest thing I have ever seen in the history of professional wrestling. So, the All-In last weekend was tremendous. Cody Rhodes became the NWA World Heavyweight Champion by defeating Nick Aldis. And then there was the whole big surprise that happened with Kenny Omega and Pentagon Jr. And then Chris Jericho makes a surprise appearance. He comes out as Pentagon Jr. Big surprise. Dig it, love it, awesome. Awesome, great. Great matches that took place at the All-In pay-per-view, including an appearance. One time only, Jay Lethal comes down the aisle. He comes out as Black Machismo, and right next to Black Machismo is the Macho Man Randy Savage's brother, Lanny Poffo. You know him quite well as the Genius. Now, all that was good. All that was tremendous. Everything was good. But then something happened. Something happened that was brought to my attention that I didn't want to talk about. So here I was, mentioning a bunch of stuff on my Facebook talk. There was a bunch of stuff that I saw on my Facebook talk. And then it was brought to my attention that there was something that I missed on the pay-per-view. You see that the man that I'm mentioning right now is a man named Joey Ryan. Now, there's a lot of stupid things that go on in professional wrestling. It's a long fucking list. It's a list of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, for instance, let's see if I look at this here, if you don't mind. Okay. One on the list would be Alexa Bliss doing the This Is Your Life segment that happened on Monday Night Raw, which was not only the stupidest thing I've ever seen, it was also the worst thing I've ever seen in the history of Monday Night Raw. My God, so stupid. Tremendous, right? Love it! Now, there's also another thing. Let's see if we can let down the list here if you don't mind. List of stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. Let's see. I saw one in particular that was a little bit stupid. It was kind of an accident, but it was pretty stupid. Here comes Titus O'Neil. At the greatest Royal Rumble ever, he runs down the aisle. He comes in, he trips and goes right under the ring. That is what you call a grand entrance. Under the ring. I've never seen that, and it'll never ever be seen ever again in this lifetime. Now, Joey Ryan. Sorry, I gotta wipe the sweat off my brow because this is going to get interesting at this point. Now, I know who Joey Ryan is. I've heard the name. I've known him for a while. Joey Ryan is this wrestler that everybody knows. He's been talked about for the longest time. He's the dick guy. He's the dick guy. You've heard him, or you know about the dick guy. You know him. He's the one that's got that yeah, whatever he's got there, and he uses it as a wrestling hold or wrestling maneuver, the dick spot, if you will. But when I first heard about Joey Ryan a long time ago, he was a part of Impact Wrestling, and this guy, he was a tremendous wrestler. But the thing about him is, when I first looked at him, the first thing that I said was, "Oh my God, this guy, this guy looks like he could save me some insurance." A long time ago. So when I saw this, when I saw who he was and everything, if anybody remembers any of the progressive insurance shows, that the commercials and everything else like that, there was this one skit, a couple of skits probably, not the one with Flo, but there was this one guy who comes out in a suit, mustache, this, and he comes out and he's like the Mr. Progressive guy. I don't know what he looks like, but anyways, I know what he looks like. I'm sorry, but this guy looks, when I saw Joey Ryan, that's who he portrays. He looks like the guy that could save me insurance. But then it's like, my God, the first thing that I heard from somebody was, he looks like a bad 70s porn star. And he does. His hair all messed up like that. His glasses all, like that. He has his, I guess he's oiled up or something like that. He's got a chest. Well, he's got like hair on his chest and all that stuff. And I just like, what the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Seriously. He has these battles with Al Snow, right? And everyone is not really taking this guy seriously. Others believe he ain't shit, and he wasn't anything anyway. But I've heard his name many, many times. He was kicked out of Impact Wrestling for a while. Then he was brought back in for some odd reason. I don't know. And then I was watching Lucha Underground, okay? Now, Lucha Underground had some tremendous wrestlers, had some great luchadors and everything, and then there's Joey Ryan. So I see Joey Ryan, right? Joey Ryan, he comes out as this, I don't know, detective. He comes out as this detective guy, right? And trying to solve the mystery or trying to be a two-face or whatever. He was already a two-face anyway, just walking in that building. But anyways, Joey Ryan comes in, and he's just hair out to here, and he still looks like a bad 70s porn star and everything else like that. It's just ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Can we please move on from this? And then, something that's been sweeping the nation all over the world, sweeping all over professional wrestling. To the wrestling traditionalists, to the historians, to all the people that love this business, they know it's the stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life. But to the common jack-offs and morons and idiots and dumbasses that want to watch wrestling because, quote-unquote, it's fun, quote-unquote, it's this, quote-unquote, it's whatever. So I hear this stuff about Joey Ryan and the dick spot, right? It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The dick spot, you've probably heard about it. He comes in, and basically it's like Mick Foley. Remember a long time ago when Val Venus, I think he did something similar or something like that. Instead of, I think Mankind had Sacco at the time, and he usually puts the sock down your throat and everything else like that. Well, Val Venus did something, well, not similar, kind of different. He took the sock, and he would place it on a guy's crotch or something like that. And basically, I guess it's supposed to hurt him or something like that. I guess it's a grab of his dick or something like that. I don't know. That was like the first time that was like the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Now, Joey Ryan all of a sudden is doing this, right? He's doing this thing. A guy grabs his dick. He's grabbing his fucking dick, and he's just, and I'm gonna have to call it, unfortunately, like I see it. He's getting a hard on while he's doing it. Keep in mind, it's a guy holding on to his dick, and he's getting a hard on, kind of like Hulk Hogan, right? And all of a sudden, he does the dick flip. Guys hold on to the dick hard enough to where he can flip him over. And I'm like, thinking, are you fucking insane? Who the fuck is gonna believe that shit? Who the fuck is gonna believe a guy with a dick that's probably not that big anyway wants to go ahead and use it as a wrestling maneuver? And what's so fucking about it, other people are getting along with this. For instance, and I saw this, WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley. I saw that. I looked at it. I was like, are you fucking insane, Mick Foley? You're the three faces of Foley. You're Mankind. You're Dude Love. You're fucking... And you're putting this guy over for what? You should put this guy over. Yes, you should put him over the fucking bridge, okay? Better yet, throw him over the fucking bridge, because that's all that dude's ever worth. This dude, Joey Ryan, okay? And I said this on Twitter, I said this on Facebook, I said this in a couple of places earlier. Joey Ryan makes The Miz look like a professional wrestler, and that is a bad thing, unfortunately. Now, we go into this all-in pay-per-view, right? I didn't see all of it, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to look around for it just to kind of get an idea. So I was listening to the, I think it was the Cornette's, the Jim Cornette Experience, by the way. Got to check it out. Listen to it. Great podcast, along with Brian Last. Awesome. Anyways, I saw some of what they delivered to me on my emails, some what they delivered to me on my messenger and everything. So I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing Joey Ryan coming down the aisle with, you probably know where this is going, but just in case you don't, Joey Ryan is coming down the aisle. Well, you know how, okay, I want you to imagine this, if you will. Remember The Undertaker when he came down the aisle, when you saw the Druids, when they had the fire holding onto it? That looked cool to watch. Remember when John Cena came out at WrestleMania, and there's all these guys that came out dressed as Cena, going like this and everything else like that, doing it about 50 million times? He walks down the aisle. That looked okay. That was cool. It's frightening, but it was okay. All of this was fine. Everything was good. This was the fucking, oh, God. I mean, if I wanted to see something like that, I could have ordered a porn movie, okay? Why don't we get Stormy Daniels involved in it? Maybe I'll get a hard-on while it happens. So I see coming down the aisle, you know what I see? I think it was, 6 dicks? I'm not kidding. 6 fucking dicks, all right? I'm saying it, and I'm believing it. 6 fucking dicks, and I'm not talking about the people I know that I used to work for a long time ago. I'm talking about 6 actual fucking people that came out dressed as dicks, coming down the aisle, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And here comes Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan coming down the aisle and all this, I'm like, okay, we went from having Cody Rhodes becoming the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. We went from having Chris Jericho making a surprise appearance and becoming Pentagon Jr., going after Kenny Omega. We saw Macho Man, or we saw Black Machismo make an appearance at the All-In pay-per-view. It was tremendous. It was great. I loved it. All that was good. Everything was going according to plan. And then comes Joey Ryan. The Dick Boy, if you will. I don't know if he's called the Dick Man, but the Dick Boy comes out, right? He comes out, and I didn't see all of it. Thank God, because I don't want to know what the hell happened after that, okay? All I saw was somebody decides to deliver me a piece of footage of 6 dicks coming out and Joey Ryan coming down to 6 dicks. That is fucking wrong! A guy coming down to 6 fucking dicks. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit the category, okay? It doesn't fit the millennium or whatever the fuck it is. Now, if this was me, if this was the main event, if this was the Super C Kid, if this was the God of my gods, the King of my kings, the coolest son of a motherfucking bitch walking God's green earth, I am not gonna come down the aisle with 6 fucking dicks. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me tell you exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come down the aisle. Okay? Here's how I'm going to do it. The main event will come down the aisle. I will have my good friends, Shattered Sun, play me a badass song. Maybe a song called Burn It Down. Do that, all right? Put that song. And then I'm going to have a bunch of sexy-looking hotties right on each side, okay? Some that look like Playboy models, some that look like porn stars, and others that look like they came from the Dallas Cowboy cheerleading squad, okay? And then I come down the aisle, and let's make this a little bit interesting. Say I come down the aisle with Stormy Daniels. That is something special for me to have. I come down the aisle with Stormy Daniels. The crowd goes nuts. They love seeing her. They look at the main event. They think I'm God. And that fucking works. It sells. Me coming down the aisle with 6 dicks don't work. Because that's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen in the history of all the stupid things I've seen. I've talked about Alexa Bliss and the whole thing with This Is Your Life. I've talked about, let's say, John Cena, This Is Your Life with Mick Foley. You remember that one? How about a couple of other stupid things? How about the fact that Vince Russo, oh my God, I mean, Vince Russo, I'm sort of wondering if he came up with that fucking gimmick, because I would have to shoot him in the fucking head. And then other stupid things like Jim Herd running WCW. Oh God, it couldn't get any more stupider than that, right? Jesus Christ. Okay. So, let me conclude this episode of the Main Event Talk, because I'm already thinking, you know what I'm thinking about right now? Let me tell you exactly what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about getting done with this Main Event Talk. I'm thinking about going ahead and just go in the house and chill out for a while, take a shower, and then get out, and then do it again, take another cold shower to get the fuck out. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to head towards a friend of mine's house, go to him and tell him, do me a favor, please, I need you to get me over to Theo's right away so that way I could go drink my fucking ass off. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to Theo's, I'm going to drink my ass off, I'm going to have myself a Michelob Ultra, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, probably about 10 big-ass beers of Michelob Ultra. And then about not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10 shots of Jaeger bombs. And not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 10 shots of Fireball. And then when I get done taking all those shots and taking all those beers, I'm going to tell my friend to do me a favor, and I need you to send me over to this place called The Palace. The Palace, a gentleman's club where everyone is treated like royalty. Me walk in there and have about not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 fucking lap dances, and the Palace will cover it half anyway. And I will forget about the fact that Joey Ryan is probably the stupidest person in the history of this business. Now, he's a talented wrestler. He's good at what he does. But as far as the dick spot goes, there was a lot of things I read, including about him being his own boss. Him succeeding. Now, the dick spot is good for that one solitary moment. It's been good for well over a year, maybe 2 years probably. But unfortunately, he will never get signed to the WWE. No one's really going to take this guy Joey Ryan seriously. Nobody will. Because if Joey thinks that he's going to make a success out of this, well, then the success is only from this year to next year. And then after that, it just becomes a joke. That's all it is. So to close this Main Event Talk out, Joey Ryan, tremendous athlete, great at what he does, do not care about the dick spot at all. Because it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to live with the fact that other people are going to probably be sending me emails and other things about it, because quite frankly, it's just so stupid to watch. Holy crap. Well, anyways, now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shoot myself in the fucking eye with a torch blade. And what the fuck that means, I don't know, because it made no sense about what I was talking about. Just like Joey Ryan. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this live edition of the Main Event Talk. I hope you were entertained. And I know that somewhere there's a guy that's probably either excited the fact that I talked about the dick spot, or is probably going to be angry and pissed off and everything else like that. I got news for you. And I want to make this clear, okay? You wanted me to talk about the dick spot. I didn't want to talk about it on my Facebook because it was stupid, it was ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But now I get an opportunity to say it on YouTube because I haven't done my YouTube show in a while. This is the opportunity, and this is the only time I will ever talk about it, and I will never, ever talk about it again unless I decide whether I bring the subject up again. And if I decide to bring the subject up again, I'll let you know in the meantime, the subject will never, and the main event means never, ever be brought up again. Oh God, I'm so fucking done with this. Thank you for watching the Main Event Talk, and if you want more of the Main Event Talk, all you do is go to my Facebook page at facebook.com/@RealMainEventTalk and check out more videos. And this video will never be shown ever on the Main Event Talk Facebook page. You can also find me on Instagram at instagram.com/maineventplayer. You can also follow the Main Event on Twitter at twitter.com/@maineventplayer. So, with that being said, let's see. God, Peter, God bless you too, and I hope you're doing better. The Main Event is out. Thank you for watching, and no doubt I may do another episode of the Main Event Talk in the near future right here on YouTube, so be prepared for that. Why? Because I can, and I want to. Any questions? Enough said. And ladies and gentlemen, if you did not like, do me a favor, all of you, especially everyone that's watching this episode of the Main Event Talk, especially to Joey Ryan, when you watch this and like this and comment on it, please do me a favor, please don't be a dick about it.